Hello, everybody. Welcome to yet another video, another boring kind of repair type of video. So, this is something that I've been wanting to touch for a long time, but I just haven't gotten around to it. Right now, things are a little bit slow, you know, so I can take the opportunity to just FYI. Um, I have been getting ever since I started doing this for a living, like more serious. Uh, I have gotten so many of this. I've encountered so many of these cards that it's sad to see. Well, this one here is a 3070 RTX 3070. But as you can see there, yeah. So the gold plated contacts there on the PCIe Express, you know, fingers there, they're all covered with solder. Now I don't know if this is lead-free solder or leaded solder. It really doesn't matter. Um, what happened here was that according to the customer, he sent it to one of his buddies to fix it because the card was just not detecting. The story he told me was that he was online playing games, and all of a sudden the computer shut down, and the fan started spinning at 100%. No, nothing on the screen, just a black screen. So he decided to turn off the computer, restarted it up again, and the same thing. Fans are at 100%. And he said, well, I'll send it to my buddy that fixes telephones and tablets. And I don't know if any of that is true, but that's just the information that I got about this particular card here. And when I got it, um, well, that right there was just very obvious to me. The issue with this card, I will never really know what it was because they decided to remove all the memory chips. I'm not going to reinstall memory chips on this because of this, how much solder there is on this board. I will use the core on a different board and all the MOSFETs here as long as they're good. But the moral of the story that I kind of I want to bring up is please don't do this. Don't if your computer shuts down and you get a black screen, fan spinning 100%. The last thing you want to do is send it to your buddy or send it to your friend or someone that you think knows about, maybe fixing graphics cards, because what they will end up probably doing is causing more damage, if anything. Um, and this is very typical. I get this card very often, and the information that I get, because I asked for a little bit of backstory of the cards, each customer, and typically, not every card, but typically, it's been worked on before by someone else. Um, my advice is that if you're having graphics card problems, don't send it to your friend. Send it to someone who's qualified. Um, if you live in Europe, you have Chris Fix Germany, I think it is. In the Dubai area, you have Fraser Xavier from GPU Solutions. You also have Tony in I think it's in Kentucky, somewhere in the U.S. From Northwest Repairs. These three guys are very good at what they do. They're very knowledgeable. I wouldn't trust anyone else. If I didn't know how to repair GPUs myself, these are the three people that I would trust. I wouldn't trust anyone else. Um, I repair GPUs now serious. I mean, I started off as a hobby. I am hopefully going to be turning this into a business. In the meantime, I do it as a hobby, but I like to think that I know what I'm doing. So if you live in the Scandinavia area, Sweden, Norway, Denmark, Finland, you can also send it to me. You'll find my information on my YouTube channel. You'll find the contact information there on fin.no. Another thing that is important to say, by the way, this is not my primary heater. This is the a little heater that I use for when I do reballs, because that's what I'm doing today. I'm doing GPU core reballs. So I put the cores here, and yeah. Anyway, another thing is, I think that should be talked about also is that if you ever encounter a situation where your computer shuts off, like it shuts down, no power, like you know, and you're trying to hit the power button, but it does not turn on, and you have a graphics card, you know what you have in your system, you know it is a gaming PC, and suddenly it just turns off. Um, don't run to conclusions immediately thinking that the issue with your computer is that the power supply died. Now that might be the case, but from experience, I can tell you that if you ever encounter a situation where your computer just shuts down in the middle of a load, like graphic, like video game, whatever, it's typically your GPU, not the power supply. Typically, not always, but typically it's the GPU. And the reason why that happened is because a power failure has occurred on your GPU. Maybe one of these MOSFETs here, these things here are called power drivers or MOSFETs. These SMDs, I will call them that for the sake of simplicity. They control the power that is delivered to your GPU, to your core. These things at times do explode. They pop for whatever reason. They just fail, and they do cause shorts. And so the card will go into protection mode. Uh, if it does, a lot of cards have a diode that usually is a 3-pin diode that monitors the temperature of these MOSFETs. A lot of them don't, but a lot of them do also. Typically, you find them in the 3090s, 3080s, and the 3000 series graphics cards. So the reason why your screen went off is because either the card went into power, like protection mode, or the power supply has detected the short, and it will not let you power on the system in those conditions. That's just a protection from the power supply or the graphics card. So if you experience that shutdown and you see that when you're pressing the power button, the computer doesn't turn on, it's typically because you have a short, most likely on the GPU. And those shorts are an easy fix. I had a previous graphics card that I got from a customer. I will be posting the photos in the video, but it was terrible. He has sent it to a friend of his. I think maybe he himself had done it, but he don't want to take the blame for it. And it's just disastrous. And when I looked at that, there were capacitors, like SMD capacitors, broken all over the board, missing MOSFETs. He had you do have sometimes, well, not this card here, but let me see. You have these here. Those are 10 amp fuses. Okay, and what he had done was or his buddy, he had instead of replacing the fuse, he bridged it with a big blob of solder. So basically, shorting the circuit, because what's going to happen when the fusers are there for a reason. So if the card is already shorted, the fuse is going to protect the main components like your GPU, the important things. That's why the fusers are there. But if you do this and the card is already in a shorted state, as soon as you hit that power button, it might kill your GPU, your core, which is this thing here in the middle. And there were two of those fuses, like here, in this area. So there were two of them here. And he had done that. And and the whole time, the card was a mess. And the whole time, it was this MOSFET here at the bottom that was the issue, that was shorted and needed to be replaced. And I looked at that on my thermal camera, and it was sad because the card was literally like it was an easy fix, but during the process of his buddy or he himself trying to figure out what the heck's wrong with the card, why the card is not booting, he destroyed it. and that could have been fixed easily, just replacing that MOSFET. So yeah, sending it to your friend is the theme of this video. Don't do it. Don't just send it to a professional, someone that can at least have an idea what they're doing. Like I said, you have some good people out there that will do a good job and give you some warranty. I myself don't have a business yet, but I like to think that I know what I'm doing. And I do not experiment on other people's cards. If I don't know the fix, I will just tell you and send it right back to you without any. I will not touch the card, like make any changes to the card at all. So if I cannot diagnose it properly, I will not touch it. That's just my rule. So anyway, I hope this rant was of use to you guys out there. Please don't do that. Don't send it to your buddy. Just send it to a repair shop, someone that is qualified to fix GPUs, that dedicates their whole happy life to repairing GPUs. I'll see you guys at the next one. Take care. Bye bye.